Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And we're looking at these coins, we're going, what do they have to do with each other? And I did say I was going to do something with the 2015 one penny coin and the 1915 one penny coin, and that's the 1915 one penny coin there. There's the 2015. And then I started thinking, hey, this is one of those things where you get another shot at trying to explain what's going on with the British pound sterling and how to figure it out. So why don't we look at that and look at the pennies and do it both at the same time? Now, one of the things that an astute kind of observer might see here is that we have that this penny and this coin here is roughly equal to the same percentage of a pound that these ones down here are. So this is a, what is this one? Let's take a look at this one. That's a beauty, huh? That is the George V 1/2 crown coin. And it's a silver coin, and it's 0.925% silver, hence the pound sterling. And some of you probably know that, right? But sterling silver is 0.925% silver, and that's why the pound sterling is called the pound sterling, because you could get it in silver, sterling silver. And so this is a 0.925%. It's a George V. It's from 1915, a year when they made 32.4 million of these. And this coin right here is worth like $13 to $20, maybe a little bit more. It's a little bit of a range depending on who wants to buy and how they grade this. But because they only made about 32.5 million in 1915, and because in silver value alone this coin is worth about $10, you really usually have to pay close to $15 to $20 to get a copy of this. What is on the front? Well, we know what's on the front, and that's George V facing to the left. It says George V, Dia Gra, by the grace of God, Brit Rex, King of all Britons. And that I've seen that written in a couple different ways. I've seen it written as Brittons and Brittans. So however you want to say Britons, essentially what it meant was king of all what we call now the United Kingdom or Brittany, or Britain. Not Brittany, because that's in France, of course, or Britain. But of course, at that time, that included some other things. And we'll take a look at the back and we'll see what else it included besides Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland and England. All right, so here we look at the back. It says Fid Def, or Defender of the Faith. Over here it says Ind Imp. And there's our hint right there. India Imperator, or Emperor of India. So this coin, King of all Britons, also conferred upon him the Emperor of India crown. And this is a half crown coin, speaking of crowns. And if we look down here, we see it says something around the outside in French. And that's kind of weird. The engraver of this coin is a man named William de Soys. Saulles, Soys. I don't know how to pronounce French, so there you go. And what he wrote, what they wrote for the banner that goes around the outside, it says, "Shame on he who thinks evil of it." And you can see this thinks right here, pense. Mal, you can see that's the bad or evil. Evil of it. Shame on him who thinks evil of it. And we see a crown here. We see a standing lion here for Scotland. We see 3 lions passant, or kind of lying down, for England in each of these corners. And then we see the harp for Ireland or Northern Ireland here. Of course, at the time it was Ireland. The Irish Free Republic hadn't quite gotten a start yet, so Ireland was still part in 1915 of the United Kingdom. If we look at it, we try to figure out what the value of, there were 8 of these to a pound sterling. So this was worth 1/8 of a pound sterling. And then we had some pennies, and this is the 1 penny coin from 1915 that we wanted to compare to the modern 1 penny coin. And we see Britannia is seated with a shield, no lighthouse, no ship. We can see a little bit of her feet, but not the greatest. 1915 1 penny. We tip it up. It's clearly not rimmed. And it's also clearly a kind of worn coin. It is bronze, and it weighs about 9.45 grams, which compared to the silver weight of 14.14. So this not only is bigger, but it weighs a lot more. This silver weighs a lot more than the bronze. Of course, George V, by the grace of God, King of all Britons, it says on the front, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. And we flip this one over, what we see on the back with the Britannia is also a little bit of a, can you see how this is kind of bent here? So these coins, if you use this enough, it would kind of press into the coin a little bit, and that's what happened here. And if you use, and this would kind of press into the back side too. So sometimes these coins get a little wobbly. Now look way down here on this coin, and you'll see that there's something there on his neck. And what it is on his neck is Edgar Bertram McKennell. And that's the Bertram McKennell for the engraving right there. And that's just a kind of something you don't see much on some of the modern coins. You don't see it on the actual person's head necessarily, but there we go there, and it is right on their neck, on his neck. So this coin's worth 1/8 of a pound sterling, and this is worth 1/240th of a pound sterling. So between the two of them, they're worth about, well, they're worth about 0.13 pounds sterling. And if we look at these coins here, we see that we have a 2015 10 pence coin, and this is part of the Royal Shield in 2015. So that's, of course, Queen Elizabeth II, and she's facing to the right. And this is a coin that was made from 2008 to 2015, the so-called 4th portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. And of course, actually, no, this is, wait a second. This is the 5th portrait, 2015. What am I saying? And that's Jody Clark right there. So this is a Jody Clark 5th portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. And this penny is also a Jody Clark 5th portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. And then there's the 4th portrait. It's Ian Rank Broadley's 4th portrait, and that's on the 2-cent coin. So what do we have here? We have 10 here for the 10 pence. We have 2 here for the 2 pence, so that's 12 pence. And we have 1 here for the 1 penny. So we have 13 pence here, or 13% of a British pound, and we have 13% of a British pound sterling here. So these essentially are even value piles based upon their relationship to the pound. Now, of course, the pound changes value and has, but 1 pound now, and 1 pound then, sterling then. But of course, the value is vastly different because what? Because this is actually sterling silver. And so that just ups it. Now, people say, what's the value of these pennies? Well, it's interesting because these pennies, these George V pennies, they're not rare at all. On the rarity index on Numista, they're about a 3. That means that 97% of all coins are less rare. I mean, are more rare. This is about as rare a coin as you can get. Everybody's got them. They're easy to get. They're easy to find. So what's a 1915 penny coin worth, even though it's over 100 years old? Some of them, you can get a bad one, it'll sell for like 15 cents US. If you get a good one, it'll sell for a couple dollars, and this is probably closer to the couple dollar range than the worn out one. But again, we don't see much detail here on Britannia, so this one might you might be able to get this for $1 or less in terms of even today, $1 or less plus shipping. So 0.13 of a pound sterling and 0.13 of a modern pound sitting right here. And that's all we have today from the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We've gone from the 1915 1 penny coin to the 2015 Queen Elizabeth 1 penny coin. And that's, of course, the shield reverse. All right, have a great day from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.